Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I look to drop this week. The first guy, Dennis Schroeder of Los Angeles Lakers. I know Schroeder was one of the top pickups last week here on the waiver wire, but over the last few games, he really hasn't done much for this Laker team. And when Anthony Davis coming back in a few weeks, his production will go down even more on the season. 12.2 points a game, 2.2 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.3 threes a game, and 43% from the field. But last week, only 8 points a game, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 29% from the field here for Schroeder. So Schroeder, we know he's been an up-and-down guard throughout his NBA career. And over the last few games, he's struggling shooting the basketball and not really putting up numbers. January 12th versus Dallas, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 23% from the field. January 15th versus Philly, 8 points, 3 assists, a 3, 33% from the field. And January 16th versus Houston, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 33% from the field. So right now the production hasn't been there over the last few games. We know LeBron James is still the top ball handler for this Laker team, with Russell Westbrook as well as the top 2 guys with the ball in their hands the most. And right now Schroeder's pretty much a guy not putting up enough numbers. Except Aaron Nemesmith of the Indiana Pacers. And Nemesmith, he was off to a good start early in the year, but now the numbers have tailed off over the last few weeks. On the season, 9.5 points a game, 3.8 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.4 threes a game, and 42% from the field here for Nemesmith. So the last few games he missed from January 11th to the 14th, but he returned and he didn't really put up numbers. January 14th versus Memphis, 6.7 rebounds, an assist to steal, 15% from the field. And January 16th at the Milwaukee Bucks, 7 points a rebound, a 3, and 37% from the field. So right here, the numbers haven't been great in the last few games back. He's playing about 25 minutes a game. But right here, this Pacers team, they got a lot of options. I know Halliburton's banged up. Buddy Hield's having a solid year. Miles Turner, solid season as well. And Nemesmith right now, he's been a guy up and down, so I would drop him this week in the third and final guard I look to drop this week's Quentin Grimes in the New York Knicks. So Quentin Grimes, he's been pretty decent for the most part this season, but now with Jalen Brunson and Randall back over the last couple games, and RJ Barrett as well, he's a guy not really producing the numbers he was early in the season when those guys were missing time here and there. So on the season, 10.4 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.9 threes a game, and 45% from the field. So on the surface, the numbers are pretty decent for Quentin Grimes, but he's a guy that's going to have some good games, and some games he'll disappear, with obviously being the 4th or 5th option on this offense here for Grimes. So the last couple weeks, still 10.6 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 1.1 steals, and 2.3 threes a game, with 41% from the field. Still pretty decent numbers, but like I said, he's not getting enough consistent numbers to go on a roster spot in 10 and 12 team leagues. January 13th at the Wizards, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a 3, 20% from the field. January 15th at the Detroit Pistons, 11 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 2 threes, 33% from the field. And January 16th versus Toronto, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block, 2 threes, and 60% from the field. So right here, he's a decent rebounder, could shoot the 3-ball, but his scoring's pretty much going to max out 10, 11 points per game. And I think there's better options on the Warriors. That's a few guards I look to drop for Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.